We have another guaranteed shiny event, and this time we're going to be kicking it old school. Really old school, because this time you can get a guaranteed shiny Tyrantrum in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's get started. Hey everybody, Blaine here for Bridgeport Games, and yeah, like I said in the intro there, we have another event in Pokemon Sword and Shield that's going to be giving away a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. So this time around, we have a new Wild Area event happening, and it's going to be giving out a bunch of different fossil Pokemon, including a guaranteed shiny Tyrantrum. Now, we've covered these methods before on the channel, but I am going to walk you through a step-by-step guide for how to get this Pokemon and how to get it kind of as quickly as possible, because ultimately, the tips and tricks we have here on the channel are meant to make your life a little bit easier and to get you awesome Pokemon a little quicker. So I'm going to present you guys two methods how to abuse the raid system to actually get your shiny Tyrantrum in as little effort as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but before I do, I just want to take a second to ask that if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please make sure that you actually like them by hitting the thumbs up button, and of course consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. And by the way, it also helps the channel out a ton, so thanks in advance for hitting that button. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this event so we can kind of get an idea of just what's going on here. Alright, so if you guys go on Cerebi often like I do, you probably will have seen this morning that the Wild Area event has now shifted, and we now have this fossil event going on. So I always get excited when I see these because it almost always means a guaranteed shiny Pokemon. So in this case, again, we're talking about Tyrantrum, one of the coolest Pokemon that came out of Kalos, in my opinion. And we have a chance to get a guaranteed shiny very, very easily. So let's go ahead and see how we do that. So this is the encounter table for the event. Now, I'm not showing the whole thing because frankly, that takes a lot of time. But as you can see over on the left-hand side here, when you do encounter a 5-star raid for Tyrantrum, there is going to be a 2% chance that it's going to be shiny. Now, if you do get that particular encounter, no matter what actually happens when you go in the raid, you're going to have a guaranteed shiny no matter what. So the real trick is just finding that one particular 5-star raid, and then you have your guaranteed shiny Pokemon. Now, we're going to hop into Sword and Shield. I'm going to show you guys two methods how to achieve this. They both have their pros and cons, which we'll talk about a little bit, but ultimately, it's really, really helpful and really, really useful to add this awesome Pokemon to your collection. So, that being said, let's go ahead, hop over into Sword and Shield, and let's start getting our shiny T-Rex. Alright, so here we are in the wild area with some showers that arrived a little too early because it's March, not April yet, but that being said, there are really two different methods how to get this sort of shiny encounter. Now, the one method uses our own sort of system to actually do that, and the other method is going to rely on other people's systems, which that probably sounds kind of complicated. If you've seen any of our guaranteed shiny events on the channel before, you'll kind of be familiar with this process, but basically what you need to do is this. We're going to start with the one where we use our own system to generate the encounter, and then from there, we're going to go ahead and move into the other method. Now, first things first, we need to go and update the wild area news to make sure we have the correct, event going on. So just go to get the wild area news, and obviously you can also do this in areas like the Crown Tundra or the Isle of Armor. I just like the main wild area because it's nice and open, and it's easy to see the other, dens and things like that. So we got the latest news. Time to take a look in the dens. Cool. All right, so nothing too fancy there. So let's go ahead and hop on our bike. Now, what you want to watch out for here, which is arguably the most important thing, the beams that are already up, do not go to those because those could have the event, but we are going to be using a day skip method here, which allows us to go kind of into the future and see more Pokemon. So the problem is if there's already an existing beam, as soon as you go ahead and change the date, that beam is going to go away and you're going to lose all your progress. Albeit not a lot of progress, but you will spend some time doing something that's not really going to work. So, unfortunately, the best way we really have to do this, you need a bunch of wishing pieces, and you want to go around and just chuck a wishing piece into a bunch of dens that are not active, and just see what Pokemon's in there when you do interact with it. Now, we preferably want the red beam, not the purple beam, and as you can see here, I see a Xatu or a Natu, whatever that one is. I don't believe that's part of the event. Actually, let me go check real quick. Okay, yeah, no, like, all the Pokemon are actually fossils. I was kind of wondering because, Xatu and Natu have kind of like that ancient ruin thing, so I didn't know if they were just trying to, frankly, look for filler and just kind of shove that one in there. So I was making sure we weren't getting chased by that Hawlucha. So let's go ahead and throw one in here. And again, we'll just kind of take a peek. Alright, so this is a Gigalith, again, not a fossil Pokemon. So we're just going to keep trying. And, this can take a little bit of time. the event dens are all going to be randomized within your game, so there's no real way to kind of predict where you should go or where you should avoid. So this is probably one of the more time consuming elements of the process. Um, but if you have enough wishing pieces, like I have well over a couple thousand, it really doesn't matter all that much. It shouldn't take too long to find one. We're on number 3 here. We still haven't found it, but I'm not going to give up. Just keep hunting and you'll find it. It's not too difficult. And yeah, just get your cardio in, go ahead and bike around, and sooner or later you'll come to the right den. All right, so the reason you want a red beam also is because the red beams are the only ones that are the event beams. If you get the purple one, it's going to default to the normal, like Gigantamax one, which is not going to have our fossils in it. Now, good news, I went ahead and opened this one, and as you can see, there is a Tortuga in here.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
Which means this is the den we want. So what we need to do, well, most likely, I guess there's a slim possibility it's not, right? But given that the event's going on, it's more than likely that it is. So let's go ahead and save our game, which is easily the most important part. And now what we're going to do from here, make sure you're offline. Now, a lot of people, this will work either way. The thing I don't like, though, if you do this online, you're going to be flooding a bunch of people with notifications for raids that ultimately don't exist. So really, it doesn't really achieve anything except just kind of cause a lot of problems, quite frankly. So I like to be a good neighbor to all my other Pokemaniacs out there, so please just go offline when doing this. And we got attacked by a Braviary, so let me dispatch this thing and I'll get right back to you. So again, make sure you save, and then let's go ahead and progress into the actual event. Now, I'm going to go ahead and enter into the raid, and I'm going to go ahead and click Invite Others. Now, there's not going to be any others because we're not going online. What we do want to do, we want to go into our settings while it's looking for others, and go down to Setting System, and then Date and Time. And now what we're going to do, my date and time is actually accurate for the first time kind of in forever. So we're just going to tick it up by 1 day, hit OK. You have to hit OK, or otherwise it doesn't go through. And then we're just going to go back into our game, and then get out of this, hit B, stop looking for participants, and then as you'll see, the weather has changed, the den has recharged, and now there's a different Pokemon in there. Now, the reason we want to do this, somewhere down in the den is that 5-star Tyrantrum that is shiny. So we need to skip ahead day after day after day using this method to sort of dig towards it. Now let's go ahead and just do it again. Invite others, press the home button, go down to our little gear here for settings. And then, of course, system, date and time, increase it by 1 day, and then just hit OK, and you're going to be good to go. And then we go back into our game, and then hit B to get out of it, and then you're good to go. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this can take a little bit of time to actually find the right encounter. So we're going to go back in, and, we now have a 5-star Archeops, which we don't want. So really, you just need to keep repeating this process. Now, it is kind of once you get used to the rhythm, it's kind of a mindless process. It's pretty quick. But, it can take 20 minutes to a half an hour to find it, because ultimately it's predetermined and it's down there somewhere. So really, you just have to dig and find it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and keep adding these days up off screen, because frankly, you guys don't want to watch me talk about advancing the day for, however long it takes. So I'm going to bring you guys back in when I have the correct encounter. And then once I actually do that, I'll let you guys know about how long it took me, just so you can get an idea of kind of what I faced. Obviously, your mileage may vary, but just so you guys get an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, and I'll bring you guys back in when I find the shiny. All right, so we found our Tyrantrum. As you can see here, it is a 5-star Tyrantrum. It does need to be 5-star. If you have any less, that will not be it. And you can get normal 5-stars, so you do want to go in and check it, and then go back out, which is certainly an option you can do. So I'm going to go ahead, what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and invite other people to help us out here. I'm going to spread around the wealth here a little bit. I am going to go ahead and connect to the internet, though, because obviously if I want to have other people come join me, I need to be online, and now we can finally go online without spamming them with a bunch of cards here. So I'm going to go ahead and let's also take a look real quick at what Pokemon we want to bring, because, we're dealing with a Dragon Rock Pokemon. I'm thinking like a bulky fairy is probably going to be a good option here. Certainly not Regieleki. I think that would be quite poor. Or you can also go the dragon route. That would work. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind you actually have to defeat this thing, right? So let's see what might be a good fit. Oh yeah, don't mind my infinite boxes of stuff. Um, oh man, does my Magearna have Flare Cannon? It does. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I'll use Magearna. Um, I'll put her in my party, and then I'll move her and replace Taserface, which is a Guardians of the Galaxy reference. In case you guys were wondering, I know somebody asked me about that.
Your name is... It's Taserface?
It's metaphorical!
All right, so yeah, let's go ahead, hop in, and we're gonna take out that Tyrantrum, hopefully catch it, and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and invite others. So I'm ready to go. We need Vivi to lock in her choice. Yeah, these all seem like good choices. They all have super effective moves against Tyrantrum, so I certainly am in favor of that. But let's go ahead and get started. And as you guys are about to see, it is our shiny here. I'm super excited. I did have to travel about 5 months into the future through day skipping, so just keep in mind it can be a little bit of a work to do it, but obviously we see our square shiny Tyrantrum here. It's very much worth it. It is such a cool Pokemon, and obviously everybody here is no stranger to shinies based on what they presented. So, and this should be a very, very quick match, I would think, even though it is a 5-star. And yeah, honestly, getting shiny fossil Pokemon can be a little tricky sometimes, which is why I was so kind of intrigued by this one, because a lot of people really like shiny Fossilmons, and now we have a really good chance to get one. So I thought it would be a great opportunity. So as we go, wow, all right. I think we're going to make very quick work of this Tyrantrum, so I'm going to bring you guys in once we have it in a Pokeball. All right, we're using a Premier Ball. He has been defeated, so let's go ahead and catch him as soon as possible. All right. And he is going in the Pokeball. We need 3 Waggles, and we should be all set. Now, it is our raid, so I believe we should have no problem getting this thing, but, I don't like to take anything for granted. We never know. So, there we go. Okay, we got ourselves our shiny Tyrantrum. Very excited about that. I'm going to go ahead. I'll give you guys a look at it real quick under the summary. And wow, that is a good looking Pokemon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so ours had a neutral nature, it looks like. Yeah, but had Smash, Earthquake, Dragon Pulse, and Iron Tail. Pretty good moveset. Needs a little tinkering, but awesome-tastic. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into method number 2. Now, first things first, I'm going to get away from this area because I have been inundated with attacks from Braviaries and Sneasels. I am just so done. I don't even care. So the method number 2 that we're going to be doing is using other raids to be able to access our Tyrantrums that way. So what we need to do, go into your YCOM menu here. And what we need to do, we need to be sure we're connected to the internet, obviously. And what we want to do, now normally you can hit X to refresh here when you get some new cards. But the problem is you don't get them all that often. So what we need to do, we're going to use a trick to give us all the brand new cards. Now what you want to do, go ahead and initiate a link trade. Now, I know a lot of people are wondering why you might do this. Just bear with me. I promise it makes sense. So with the link trading, we're not going to actually trade because as long as you're doing some other task, it's not going to connect you with anybody else. You're just going to be left doing your own stuff. However, as you can see, when a link trade is going, it refreshes a lot more often and you're able to see more cards. Now, all you have to keep doing is go in here and just keep hitting your X button and you'll get new cards that come. Now, we need to wait until we see something that says incredibly powerful Tyrantrum. So the reason we need that is because if we go any lower, it doesn't have that chance of being shiny. Now, as you can see, there's one here. I am going to try and get in on this one. Typically, though, they do fill up real fast, especially on the first day of a shiny event like this. So it may take you a couple times to do this. But really what you want to do, go ahead, hop in all those 5-star raids that pop up. And eventually, once you find one that is incredibly powerful, you will get your shiny Tyrantrum. Now, what I'm going to do again, basically, it's really that simple. You really just make sure you're trading, mash X to keep getting your new, cards coming, and you will get your event sooner or later. Now, right here's a good example where it says massively. You don't want that. As you can see, I'm actually going to go into it just to show you guys why not. But as you can see here, under the massively, it's only 4-star, not 5, and the 4 stars are not guaranteed shinies, only the 5s are. So that's why, no matter what, you do not want to go into anyone's unless they say incredibly powerful. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut, and I'm going to bring you guys back in once I potentially have that 5-star Tyrantrum that may be shiny. So I'm going to go ahead and cut, and I'll bring you guys back in once I have it. Alright, so we found a Japanese player here who's going to be taking us into their battle against their 5-star Tyrantrum, so I'm hoping that this is a shiny one, because I'd really like that to be the case. Obviously, I want to get another one. So let's see here. We're about to encounter it. I'm really crossing my fingers here. Alright, come on. And we have a shiny one! Alright, we got our blue Tyrantrum. Step 1, we gotta make sure we kill this thing. Alright, so now we are pretty well... Oh, I'm the only one without a shiny. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But it seems like we'll be pretty well situated here to take this thing out. So I'm going to go ahead and just knock it down. I'm going to use my flash cannon, and I'm going to bring you guys in once we have it KO'd. Alright, I got the kill shot. This Tyrantrum is one dead shiny. Now we got to go ahead and get it as quickly as possible. I'm going to try and get it in my Premier Ball. Oh, I clicked Pokeball. Alright, well, they all work. I think you have pretty much the same chance no matter what. So I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, even if you use a Master Ball, I think you can fail. Raids are weird, but whatever. I got my chance. I'm just happy we encountered a second one, so you guys can see this method does work and does actually yield shinies as long as you can actually get into the right event. 3 Waggles, come on. Hey, all right. We got ourselves 2 shiny Tyrantrums today. That is a good day in my book for shiny hunting. So let's take a look at it. I just want to take a peek at it, see any differences, anything like that compared to the other one. So no, I'm not going to do a nickname. They're better to trade away when they don't. I am going to see its summary here. And very cool. This one has a terrible nature, which is easily corrected these days. Same attacks as the other one. That's pretty interesting to note. And yeah, there we go. We have our second shiny. Now, so do keep in mind, this event does not go on forever. It's only going to be going on for about a week. So it's actually going to be going on until the 27th. So right about in the end of the month, I think we have about 9 days to actually get your shiny Tyrantrum. So, you know, you can do it either way. Pretty much my experience, though, if you want to do it the method where you're digging through your own dens, you can do that at any point, even theoretically for a day or so after the event ends, as long as you don't update your wild area news. However, if you're going to try and kind of mooch off of everybody else's kind of events, the way I did, their raids, you're going to want to do that as soon as possible to now, because once interest starts kind of waning, you're going to have a much harder time finding the actual shiny ones with that guaranteed shiny. Now, the issue is that, you know, even we had to go through a few, you know, about a dozen before we found ours here. So it's going to take you a little bit. And if there's not as many people digging to find those Tyrantrums, it's going to take more time and it's going to give you less success ultimately using the second method. So all you need to do, just go ahead, invest a half an hour or so, get your shinies, and call it a day. And like all of our tutorials here on the channel, the end goal is, of course, to get you the best and most awesome Pokemon with the littlest amount of effort. And if we're able to do that, I will be a very, very happy content creator. Alright, so there you have it, everybody. That is how you can get your shiny Tyrantrums right now in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Again, it is a guaranteed shiny, so if you do encounter the right, den, the right raid, you will have, obviously a guaranteed shiny. You won't have to worry about rolls or anything like that. And as long as you catch it, you'll be able to add that to your collection for very, very little work. So go ahead, go into the wild area, go into the Crown Tundra, go into the Isle of Armor, start digging around in your dens, and see what you can find. So that being said, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video, but most importantly, I hope you're able to use it to add these awesome shinies to your collection. And again, do try to remember this event is not going to be going on forever. You do have about 9 days to actually get these, so make sure you're doing it pretty soon. Otherwise, they'll be gone and you won't be able to get them quite as easily. So that being said, if you did like the video, please make sure that you absolutely get impact that like button in the face. And as always, consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community to make sure that you never miss any of the awesome videos like this one. Oh, and by the way, if you don't mind sharing the video with all of your shiny hunting friends as well, that'd be a huge help to the channel, and we would really appreciate it. So, that being said, everybody, I've been Blaine from Bridge4 Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. Remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play, and the proper ways to play them are however you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye.